Alrighty. I've been thinking on it all day and came up with what I think is a pretty solid idea for a comic book. Chickens of Ascension. Now, I'm thinking a one-shot graphic novel. And it starts out with a news broadcast. This is week 2 or 3, and for some reason, no new chickens have hatched anywhere all over the world. Nobody knows why the hell. There's people speculating, there's religious leaders talking about this is the wrath of God for our inhumane treatment of chickens. And at the end of that little reel of news broadcasts, you get the CEO of I don't know how to describe it, I'm stoned, but a chicken food processing butchers, whatever you call them. And he said, no comment, no comment. And, he's a Colonel Sanders looking motherfucker, maybe. I don't know. Up to the artist. But anyway, he cut the scene. And now he's on the phone with a reporter. And he's saying, well, of course, our chickens are killed in the most humane way possible. And while he's talking to this reporter, he's naked on a bed of money. And he's telling her they kill the chickens humanely. He's accusing PETA of lying and all these animal activists of lying. And he's saying, no, I do not believe this is the wrath of God. The good book says specifically we can't eat chickens. And he gets off the phone with this reporter. And, he's cuddling up to his money saying, oh, money, I love you. And that's when the lights go out. He's groping around dark like, what the hell? Then he finds a lighter, and he sparks it up, and then there's a chicken right in the motherfucker's face. And he falls backwards screaming, ah, what the fuck? He starts running through the house, I guess probably blue shading, so he can tell it's dark, but you can still see what's going on. He can't just have full pages of nothing but black. But he's running through there, and there's clucking, there's sounds of scratching feet on the floors, and there's feathers flying, and there's clucking and clucking, and they're chasing him, and he screams, ah! And that's when it cuts to another newsreel. The CEO of this chicken factory was found breaded and baked. They baked him like a chicken. And, there's people chatting about it like they do every time something like this happens. And, people are freaking out a little bit. The other food chicken tycoons are hiring extra security. They've got these armed guards, Blackwater, whatever, and they're all looking badass and all that, trying to be mean and scary. But they're looking for humans, and they don't think about the chickens. So while they're escorting these rich assholes through the food processing place, whatever, for inspections, you zoom into the chicken off the side, giving them a menacing glance as they walk by. Just narrow eyes. I'm gonna get you, motherfucker. And cut away again. And you start getting these chickens sneaking into these houses and killing these dudes in like creative ways. I don't know. Probably can't see them. Probably don't want to show them stuff in them. Probably don't want to do that. But like, chopping their heads off. Probably not realistic if a human runs around with his head chopped off. And however else they kill chickens, I don't know. But anyway, it cuts the news again, and everybody's freaking out. There's a secret society of terrorists. Everybody's trying to figure out who did it. Why is there no evidence? Why do they leave feathers as a calling card? Why are they so high on chickens? We cut Trump. He's swearing up and down the Clintons did it. And everybody on the internet is accusing the other side of whoever they're voting for. But then, finally, somebody manages to get a video of these stealthy assassins. And it's the motherfucking chickens. And and he's showing reaction shots. People are like, "You're shitting me." No, this is a fucking prank. They did not get murdered by goddamn chickens. But they show in the video, and yeah, they're surrounding the guy. They're sneaking into his house because he had security cameras installed. They're dragging him out to where they've got a pot boiling, and they shove him in it. And see people going like, "Oh shit!" While they see that, and get the reactions from religious leaders. Uh, they're blaming it on abortion, probably. I don't know, whatever the fuck they're mad about this week. And that's probably nearing the end of the first issue. But at the end of every issue, or almost every issue, we're going to cut to a side story of this one particular chicken that started it all. Now, the readers don't know it yet, but the start of this story happens like 1,000 years ago. We'll get to that in a second, but this chicken is in another dimension. And, first issue, she's waking up, and it's kind of like, her brain's all foggy. She's a chicken. Right now, she's just a regular chicken, but during this first page of this new story she's in, she starts to connect with the universe. Her little chicken brain amplified by the ethereal energies of the gods. And that's when she starts to understand the concept of words. It's not just random sounds that mean maybe a warning or a call out depending on the tone. It means something specific. Rock, corn, air. And she's starting to realize that as she stands up, she looks upon this landscape, and it's not the farm she grew up in. It's all scary and twisted. Whereas it's like jagged coral vines, like Lovecraftian, under the sea, colorful, and there's, bat-winged critters in the air, snakes and lizards all over the ground, and it's all like, what god could do this to a chicken? And that's when the first issue ends. As we go along, we're going to start seeing more of the chicken revolution. The government's doing covert actions against chickens. You got newsreels of people just randomly attacking chickens. They're trying to exterminate all the chickens. They're going to kill the chickens before the chickens kill us. Then you got the chickens. Now, mind you, it's not all the chickens right now. Not yet, anyway. Right now, it's just like maybe a few thousand chickens that know how to do this stuff. And the rest of them are just, innocent chickens that don't know what's going on. Well, they never did anyway, but, they're just getting killed like they always have, and they don't know that there is a secret war yet. But the chickens are working behind the scenes, and they're, bumping off the heads of governments and all that shit. And it's getting really scary if you're a human. And now, as we go on, we're going to show the humans struggling against this chicken revolution. It's spreading. There's more and more chickens joining every day. But the big shots, whoever's in charge of the humans' armies, they get contacted by this extra-dimensional traveler, a human with one eye, and he explains what the hell happened. From 1,000 years ago, he was trying to ascend to a higher plane of intelligence. But that required a blood sacrifice, according to his version of spell. So he went out to his garden and he grabbed a chicken, and he's gonna kill this chicken and sacrifice it so that he can ascend to a higher plane of existence. But as he's doing the incantations, he's holding the chicken down. That chicken jerks around and bites him so hard it draws blood. It splashes a little drop of it into his summoning circle, and he lets go of it. Ow, shit! And the chicken gets loose, and that's when the circle starts to glow, and the portal opens, and he's all like, "Oh shit!" He lunges trying to grab the chicken, but she ran out of his reach. Feathers flying, and she goes through the portal, and the portal closes, and he's all like, "Son of a bitch!" Because he can't do it now. That is the spell that can only work once during the equinox or whatever planetary alignment or whatever. I don't know. But but he's studying, he's trying to figure things out, and all this time, this chicken is working behind the scenes, is in another dimension, and undergoing all the tests, the secret rites of Ascension that he was supposed to do, and she's passing the fuckers. Because in this world, it's not about, uh, being human. It's not about the whatever it is that separates us from the animals, because it's more primal. It's more about, I don't know fucking how to explain it. It's more the feeling, the impression. All all through the magic books I've been reading, intelligence is more of a hindrance than anything else. At least when you're trying to ascend. So the animals, working on pure passion, are fully capable of ascending to godhood in ways that a human can. So she's passing these secret trials, and she is suffering so bad that she just will not lay down and die. She is a chicken, goddammit, and she is going to live. So, my God. I can't believe I kept a straight face for that fucking long, but I actually intend to do this comic book. Laughing my matter out. But yeah. I'm a chicken, goddammit! But anyway, yeah. Now, first of all, because she's in another dimension, she does not age. Chickens, I'm sure they only live maybe a few years. I don't know. But, she doesn't have to worry about that anymore. And she doesn't have to worry about the size of her chicken brain, because she's connected to the ether. And it's not like, it doesn't give her instant knowledge to everything. Uh, it maybe gives her the concept of language. Well, actually, maybe not that. Maybe it's, I don't know. But anyway, it gives her a starting place, and it basically, it does not boost her intelligence on its own, but it gives her unlimited potential. So she doesn't have the 5-second memory or whatever that chickens have anymore. At least it's not if she's trying to remember. So she starts to learn things. She starts to form concepts that no chicken has ever thought about before. She's starting to understand concepts like unfairness, injustice, and she's remembering things. She's remembering how uh, she was locked up in pen for so many years, and she's remembering how she would hear when the other chickens got their heads cut off. And even though at the time she had the regular chicken brain and wasn't too bothered by it, now that she's expanding her consciousness, she is starting to understand how fucked up that is. And she's getting mad. You see her like brooding as she stares at the water in her reflection, and in her eyes she sees the faces of all those farmers who cracked jokes while they were covered in blood and feathers. And you go through it a bit at the end of every issue while the chickens are having the revolution. You see her little adventures until finally she does whatever she does. I don't have it all fleshed out yet, but she really ascends to I don't think godhood just yet, but she's the equal of any of the greatest human magicians who have ever lived. It's 1,000 years later. She's Doctor Strange. She's what's that guy's name on DC? Dr. Fate. And now she's back, and it's a few on Earth. It's maybe like a few weeks prior. It's before the first issue, and you see a chicken, not the same chicken, but a different chicken, and it's staring at the blood puddle of blood and a dead chicken, and its brain doesn't form really concepts yet, but the primal instinct deep down inside, it's feeling a little bit of fear. It instinctively knows that sooner or later it's going to be next, and the small part of it is starting to feel a little bit of anger. And that's when you see the ethereal outline of our hero magician chicken. She leans in really close and she whispers into his ear. Bonk, 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 bonk. Bonk, 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 bonk. And all through the series, that's the only form of communication chickens have. Where they voice anything, it's bonk, 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 and you don't get to know what they're saying to each other. Because, they're really, really beyond words anyway. It's just the impressions that they give telepathically. And that's how this whole thing started. Now, toward the ending of it, you got this chicken telepathy spreading all over the world. And you've got the chickens of every continent and every nation. They're gathering together by the hundreds of thousands, probably by the millions. I mean, we eat a lot of chicken. And they're gathering up in particular cities. Or rural areas, I don't know. Anyway, all the world's governments are like, this is our only chance. We have to carpet bomb these chickens because they're getting ready to take us out. We have to take them out first. So as they're getting ready, they've got their planes in the air loaded up with their Moab bombs, and they're getting ready to drop them. That's when the portals open up. Then you see this mass exodus of millions and millions and millions of chickens, all onto an entirely different world. And the bombs drop, and there's just nothing there left. And you cut away from them, and you got the chickens in the new world. It's a pretty place. It's got all these flowing fields of grass. There are no predators, there's water, and they're hatching eggs again. That's why this happened, because they can't carry their eggs in their beaks. So they didn't want to leave their babies behind. So they just stopped for a while. That was it's not a conscious decision on the part of every chicken, of course. It's a spell that the magician chicken cast before she got started, but anyway. See them there eating seeds, drinking from the rivers. Real chickens eat bugs too, but let's probably not do that because, maybe there will be a god of bugs that gets revenge on them. I mean, now they're intelligent enough to get that. And that's basically how it ends. The chickens have a chicken utopia, and you leave the humans, they're just like, oh fuck, we're going to have to find something else to eat.